Rap is out of control.
My man Brian from thebshine.com. And we got my man, my mellow Skyzoo.
Yeah. What's up?
Another album, another year, another visit to radio.
You know how we do it, man. You know, every year we roll through and get to it, you know?
No doubt. The easy truth.
Yeah.
The easy truth. Why is the truth easy? What's the easy truth?
The irony is that it isn't. So that's the play on it. You know, with this album,
right.
I feel like with everything that's going on nowadays, every turn on the news, you open the papers, you go online, whatever it is, there's so much going on out here in the world.
Yeah.
And, you know, I feel like this was as good a time as any to really harp in on all those types of things and those issues and really speak on it from where I'm at and where I live at and the people in my neighborhood and how we perceive all these things and how they affect us.
Sure.
So I feel like when all this stuff gets covered, it kind of gets glanced over or it gets passed over in a certain light. It's kind of the easy truth. They just give you a part of it. They give you the easy truth. But, you know, for me and where I'm from, it's looked at through a different lens. And that's really what the concept for this album is. That was the conceptualization of it. And, you know, it's nothing easy about the truth if you really get to it for real.
Sure.
So that's what Apollo and I wanted to hammer home on this album.
Dope. Yeah. I mean, it seems like that, you know, we come up, a lot of us come up, especially through hip-hop. I mean, hip-hop is probably more informative than a lot of stuff you're going to find anywhere else. And so you come up and you start realizing these things that's going on in the world earlier on. And I feel like it's becoming, I guess because of the digital age we're in, where everything's being captured on video and this and that. It's like more and more people are becoming aware. And so it's becoming more and more of a bigger issue that more and more people are up in arms about. You know what I'm saying? So
100%. You know, and with the project, you know, it's not only about what you see when you turn on the TV, but it's continuing what I've always done in my career, which is stories about how I came up, how I grew up, you know, being in Brooklyn and, you know, a certain era and a certain cloth and a certain aura of, you know, that time frame, as well as what's going on nowadays and how it all kind of blends together. So, you know, when you're dealing with Apollo Brown and the way he produces, you know, the way he puts music together, the backdrops, the chops, the samples, the soul, the dirt. So you gotta handle that in that regard. You can't go in there with those and then do something that would, you know, suit something else totally different. Then it won't make sense. So hearing all these beats is what brought it to me. You know, I didn't know what I was gonna do on this project. And when he started sending me beats, it all came together. I was like, okay, this is what we're gonna talk about.
That's how I'm not even an MC, but to me, that's, you know, when I hear a beat, it's like you know, like when I throw on an instrumental for someone to rhyme on, it's the same thing. Like I'm finding a beat that I feel is something that's going to spark them to do something that they can do, you know, that doesn't have any category. But then there's certain joints that Apollo might send you where you hear it and you're like, that feels
the beat
like
tells
this.
you what to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it feels like this. Yeah. Shout out to Apollo Brown.
Yeah, man.
He produced the whole album, Apollo Brown, Skyzoo, The Easy Truth, which is coming out, what is it, this week?
This Friday.
September
30th.
Yes.
Completely produced by Apollo Brown. Features Westside Gun, Conway, Stally, and Joel Ortiz and Patty Crash from The Roots.
Nice.
And, you know, we, like I said, you know, we had a blast putting it together. I penned the whole joint in a week. You know, I did the whole joint in a week in Detroit. Okay. You know how I do. I write everything on the spot.
Sure.
When I'm on the show, I go off the top. You know, all the unorthodox, stupid shit. But so I write everything on the spot for those listening who may not know. So, you know, with the album, Apollo was like, yo, I'm going to send you a bunch of beats. Pick from them. Get them together, boom, boom, have you come to Detroit. I'm like, cool. So he sent me like 40 beats. So I picked like 14, 15 joints, put them to the side. So hit me like, all right, cool, we're going to book these flights, hotels. So what you need, like, you know, 2 days, just come record everything, boom, boom. I'm like, nah, you know, I got to pen it. Yeah. He was like, you ain't write it yet? I was like, nah. So he started getting worried. He was like, yo, how long you think we need? I was like, yo, like 6 days, 7. He was like, there's no way we're going to be able to do it in 6-7 days from scratch, bro. He was like, yo, we're going to need like 2-3 weeks. It's going to get crazy with the budget. I said, bro, I promise you, book me a week. We good. Came out there for a week. We did it in 6 days. He was like, yeah, I can't believe it. I never worked with nobody who penned as fast as you.
What was the name of the joint with the Ninth you did, the first album?
Oh, Cloud 9.
Yeah. Wasn't that like
3 days.
Yeah.
Did 12 joints in 3 days. Yeah. So, you know, with this one, I was doing 2-3 joints a day. I get to the lab, throw the beat on, write a joint, record it. Throw the second beat, record it. Go get some food, do the third joint, go to the hotel. You know, and then just you know, wash, rinse, repeat. So, we did the whole joint in a week, man, and I love it. It came out fantastic, exactly the way I wanted it to. And I think if he coming in town tomorrow, but I think if he was here, he'd be able to let you know. We pushed each other as far as the way we did this. There's moments on the album that Apollo's diehard fans are going to be like, oh, that's a little different. But it still works. Like the vibes. Like, I don't know if you got the vibes, but, the vibes, that's totally different from what Apollo would normally do. It got an 808 in it. It sound like something on the radio. It sound like something, Tiller, somebody would jump on Bryson Tiller. So, it got a different vibe, but it still rocks. It still hits. It's still dirty. It's still a loop. So, you got those moments. It's a couple other joints. The one with Stally. That one is a little different, nodding off, but they still Apollo and they still hit. And then for me, the production was real scaled back because, I like bringing in trumpets and string sections and the whole thing, and we scaled all that back. There's like 2 or 3 records with trumpets, but the rest of it is just the loop, the drums, the bass,
some grimy, gritty, static in the beginning, static at the end.
Exactly. So we met in the middle. He pushed me a little bit, I pushed him a little bit, and it was dope, man. The creative process was amazing. I'm super proud of it, man. This Friday, September 30th, Skyzoo, Apollo Brown, The Easy Truth.
And how was it actually recording in Detroit?
Oh, it was dope, because you get the energy of the city. And that's why I like doing everything on the spot, too, because it's all in the moment. If I pin something at the crib and go to the lab 2-3 days later, all that excitement, the energy, I got to bottle that up. You know what I mean? I got to put it in a bottle, close it, keep it tucked, and then 2 days later try to restore the feeling. Nah, I'd rather get it right then. You know what I mean? So, I like pinning right on the spot. So being in Detroit, you know what Detroit is. It's a different world out there. Shout out to everybody in Detroit, man. I love it out there because I love kicking it with the people, especially when it's blue collar, it's the city, it's the bottom, it's the grind and the dirt. I love it because it shows the authenticity of the people and what you got to persevere through to stand tall out here and to make it. So being out there in Detroit and just riding around the east side of Detroit, the west side of Detroit, just driving around with Apollo and then going to the lab to pen. I take what I know in Brooklyn in the style, and it just came out perfect.
The Easy Truth.
Yeah.